Welcome to Eat.Game.Sleep, Fat Bear Gaming's gaming podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Kay.
And I'm Andrew.
Hello.
Hey, welcome back, boys.
Yeah, thank you. Let's start off with some news. It's been pretty boring, news-wise, in video games, but that's because E3 is not too far away, and so they're kind of waiting for E3. Yeah. Anyways, so to start off, let's do my love-hate relationship with Telltale. And they have announced that March 17th is the release date for Borderlands Episode 2. So let's see if that actually sticks. Given their history, I'm going to say 60-40 that it doesn't. And then after that, Valve says, we'd love to bring Half-Life to their new VR system, but it might never happen. Basically, they said it takes a lot of time to do that, and we don't know if we'll have the time. And they said they would love to bring all of their main IPs over to VR, but they don't know if they'll have the time for really any of them. So, yep, that's pretty fun.
That's really non-committal and leaves them no burden. How nice for them.
So, not confirmed 2015.
That's going to be our slogan this year.
Right. And then, PS4 comes to China. A few weeks ago we talked about it. China's opening up their markets for foreign game makers, and the PS4 and the PlayStation Vita are going to start selling in China March 20th. So there's that, which is exciting for Sony and China itself, I guess. And then, do you guys know about the GameStop that got shot up in Philly?
Yep.
No.
Okay, well, there's a GameStop that got shot up in Philly, like between police and a robber or whatever. Anyways, one officer died, and GameStop though is now accepting donations for the Philly cop who was killed in to help his family.
Mm-hmm.
To help him. Yeah, so that's pretty awesome. Yeah, and in lighter news, a gamer whose YouTube name is the HM05, 05, like Pokemon. He beat Destiny's maybe the hardest boss, close to the hardest boss, if not the hardest boss.
Crota's?
Yeah, Crota.
Yeah, he's the hardest.
Yeah, Crota with no guns.
What?
Soloing. He beat it with no guns, soloing. By himself. So that's very impressive, as far as we know.
Impressive, but I hear that and I'm just like, why?
Yeah.
That sounds so
how
hard.
long did that take him?
And so not worth it.
I have no idea. The clip on his YouTube is 10 minutes long. But I think that's the end of the dungeon or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, I just mean how long did it take him to get that down? You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so it's pretty intense. It is pretty intense.
Just like supermodels camping. They're pretty in those tents.
Yeah, they
are. Since his name was HM, did you guys teach HMs to your favorite Pokemon, or you have a slave, like an HM slave?
It depends.
Wait, HM's the one that aren't...
You can't delete them in the early games.
That's HM, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You can't delete them until the deleter.
I always had an HM whore except for Fly. I gave that to the real Pokemon.
That makes sense.
It just depended on what the HM was. I'd let Blastoise roll strength so he had a normal attack. But Flash, I think I managed to have the weirdest Pokemon always pulling Flash out. I hated them because they took up a spot that another Pokemon could take.
My favorite Pokemon ever... Well, okay, the only one I did was Surf. Because it's actually
Surf,
pretty...
I would allow Surf.
Surf was always on my Blastoise.
That was a pretty powerful move, and you needed it anyways, so...
Pretty sure it's 95 power.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's pretty awesome power.
It's balling, maybe 90.
I think that's the only one. But I always had... ever since, the 4th generation on, I always had the... What's his name? He's like a beaver. Bibarrel, I think his name is.
Oh, yeah, the normal Pokemon.
But he's normal and water. So you can basically teach a mini HM, and sometimes I'd have two of them, and they're like my two HM whores, and I'd be like,
Is that the one that starts off as Bidoof, or am I thinking of somebody?
But yeah, that's it.
Okay, Bidoof.
Starts off as Bidoof, and then by barrel or barrel.
I'm proud of myself for knowing that.
Yeah.
You should be.
My nerd status is through the roof today.
Yeah.
Did you guys always have like your team of 5 that was, like level 50 by the time you hit the Elite Four, and then you had that one HM guy that was like 16?
Well, what I would try to do is I would try to just leave, like, if I didn't have a person in the party that I could use Fly with or Surf with, I tried to leave them in a Poke Center until I needed them. So I'd have to run back to a Poke Center to fly around sometimes. I'd try to have a rounded out thing. What I remember is the first time I ever played Pokemon Red, and I got to the Elite Floor. Elite Floor.
Elite Four.
Where you bust out those elite dance moves.
Whoa! I got to the Elite Four with my Blastoise at like level 72, and I didn't use anybody else. I beat every gym with Blastoise.
You're one of those guys.
Oh, the first time I learned how to balance it, but
that's so funny.
I didn't know what would happen when you lost all of your power points for your moves, and I beat all 4 of the Elite Four, and then got to Lance and struggled my way through and didn't beat him.
Yeah,
so funny.
I was never able to beat the games when I was younger because I would have like my one starter who was just crazy, and I didn't know anyone who legitimately did beat it until my little brother with either X and Y or White and Black. I was like, he's like, have you beat White and Black yet or whatever? I was like, oh no, not yet. I'm like, blah blah, and he's like, oh, I did, and I'm like, that's awesome. I was like, let me see your team, and he just had like one level 80 starter, and I was like, what? And I was just,
that's impressive.
Yeah, and he was like, I was like, you beat them all with this guy, and he was like, yeah, and I was just like, good job. Like I was like, I was never able to do that. Yeah. Except I also, when I was younger, some battles I'd run, and I think my brother was just like, I'm fighting everyone all the time.
Yeah.
I haven't played the last couple iterations of Pokemon, but do they still have HMs?
Yeah, they do. It's not nearly as they're not nearly as central to the game anymore.
I've literally been saying this since I was a kid, and I played Red and Blue. They need to make all these HMs just like objects that you find that fix your problem.
Seriously.
Except for maybe Fly.
Yeah,
no, you should have your own private jet as a 13-year-old Pokemon trainer.
Oh, I was thinking about just holding on to maybe like a pinwheel that goes really fast.
Yeah. Woo! Well, I mean, there's nothing like, I don't know, you make it like flying pamphlet. Now you can teach your Pokemon to carry you. Or like you call it like saddle. You put a saddle on them.
Oh my gosh. Did you, Kay, I'm sure you did, Scott, do you remember the experience share that got introduced in 2nd generation?
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, to where you no longer had to have Magikarp at the front of your party, you could just put him at the back and wait till he was 20? Well, you didn't play X and Y. They still have the experience share, and instead of it going to one Pokemon, it splits all the experience to your entire party, but it does half to your guy that fights and half to each person, meaning like if it's 1,000 total, your main guy gets 500 and every other Pokemon gets 500. They made leveling so easy in the new one. I literally leveled my guy up to Tyranitar in like 30 minutes whenever I wanted a Dragon Pokemon for the Elite Four.
See,
it was insane.
With the old experience share, I would always I would put the weak Pokemon, my Magikarp or something I wanted to level up, I would still put him out first and with the experience share. So then even though I swapped him out immediately, he would get like 75% of the experience. But that's way better.
It's really good, except for the fact that, you know how there's like the badges that say any Pokemon under level 50 will obey you, but after that they get sassy. It's the first time I had to actually stop leveling Pokemon. I had to turn off my experience share in gyms because it was like everyone is right at the cusp, and I don't know if this badge gives me a level limit or not. It was
Yeah.
I
terrible.
didn't have that problem. I, though, halfway through the game was like, I hate my party, switching it all up. And so,
You could do that.
well, it still sucks. Grinding
Yeah.
still
Oh, it does.
sucks.
No, but
And
they have that one training, that like that mansion or what. I haven't played in a while, where
Where you
can
walk
level
around?
up and make money. That little chateau or whatever with all the old people.
I didn't even think about that.
Oh, that's how I leveled everybody.
Oh, I'm still in that phase, by the way, the leveling phase, because I hate grinding so much. So now I might pick up X and Y again. And
Oh, dude,
play
you could
through.
you could level that party up in an afternoon, no sweat.
Oh. Well, now I know what I'm doing today. But what have you guys been playing lately?
I've been a little all over the place. I finished up Far Cry 4.
Did you platinum it?
Far Cry 4? No. No, I'm
You
gonna.
finally finished it. What are you gonna play now for Twitch?
Well, I started playing Apotheon, but I'm not really feeling it. So,
I didn't either.
it's okay. It's kind of just like an arcade beat 'em up,
Yeah.
which I like sometimes, and it's like a unique art style. But I don't know, the gameplay's just a little wonky for me. Like you feel like you're playing like a stick man, and I don't know.
I know what
It's a well-made game, but it's not for me. And I've been trying to platinum Stick of Truth, like on the side, but I'm already like halfway through that, so I don't think I'm gonna stream that. And then I've been starting to play Terra Battle, which is a mobile. It's a mobile game made by. I'm not even gonna try to say his name because I butcher it. The original Final Fantasy creator.
Oh wow.
It's pretty good. It's like a card collection game.
Okay.
But it's very like it's simple, but it's like very fast paced, and it also has like elements of like real time strategy.
Okay. That's cool.
It's pretty cool.
On Android, you have an Android, right?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll check it out.
That's cool. Is there micro purchases?
Yes.
Mm.
But you could. I mean, you can beat it without micro purchases. It's just
The temptation's too great. I won't.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I made a micro purchase this morning.
Well, I mean, free to play. There's gonna be micro purchases. Like,
Oh, I didn't know if it was.
yeah, there's no.
I realized when I was writing my blog for this week that like all the old like Silk Road developers and all the old free-to-play MMO developers found their niche with phone games. Like free-to-play is so much easier when it's casual. Like to get people hooked in is what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
It's
True
like,
that.
dear Lord.
True that. Recently I've been playing SWTOR, Star Wars: The Old Republic.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've been playing that too.
Yeah, and then also I got into the Heroes of the Storm beta.
Whoa, nice.
Yeah, so I've been playing that as well. I suck. Well, in all fairness to me, I haven't got out of the practice phase because I'm too worried about sucking. So I've just been practicing like a mug. I think today actually I'm gonna go out of the practice arena, which is pretty exciting.
Did you have to sign an NDA for that, non-disclosure, or can you guys talk about it and stream it?
You can talk about it and stream it.
Awesome.
I think I will start streaming it relatively soon. I'm gonna name it Noobin It Up in Heroes of the Storm.
As long as we're on.
Just so people know what they're getting into before they click on the stream. But pretty exciting. I actually like it. I don't know if I'm gonna get crazy into it. Like, I'll still play it probably, like just here and there. Like once it's out of the beta, because I don't know, something about a beta makes me want to play it like a lot. And but it fixes a lot of things that I didn't like about MOBAs, which was which is what I think kind of their goal was.
Like what?
Well, like there's a team share of XP, so it's much harder to like straight up farm, and because there's a team share and different things like that, it gets rid of traditional like laning and like duties, if you will.
Oh,
like
wow.
It's more like now it's more like you have you get your tanks, you get your support, and you get your DPS, and it's much more about like teamwork and just knowing which lane to hit at which time, not so much actually having lanes. So like there's not characters who are always mid. There aren't characters who are always, you know what I mean, top lane, bot lane. All characters are all lanes, and each map, there's like 5 different maps, and each map has their own objective, and they can do a lot in like changing the tide of battle.
That is cool. So they literally made a fresh MOBA.
Yeah, like there's this one that
funky fresh.
Like if you kill enough of these skeletons, you get these skulls, and then your golem will rise. And whoever has the most skulls, their golem is stronger, and then that golem will start attacking the enemy's like fortifications. So like if you can really get those skulls, that golem will like crash you all the way into their main base.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I really enjoy it. We'll see how it goes. Hopefully they release a few new champions. Overall, I like their champions, but I'm hoping for a few more. And I'm also hoping to get in the Overwatch beta because it looks pretty cool. And they just released this like really tough, tanky Russian woman, so I'm really into that. But that doesn't start until like September.
He's not even gonna play the game, you guys. He's just
gonna sit at the character screen. You're like, you're beautiful. She's pretty awesome though, but whatever.
Did you hear about PewDiePie and like everyone sending him the same message?
No.
Okay, so I mean, cover your ears if you're under 18 or whatever. But apparently, there's this huge. There's like tons and tons of people, like thousands of people, that are asking PewDiePie to fist them.
Oh my.
or they'll say, please fist me, senpai.
Why? How did it start?
It all started, I guess, because one person did it, and then he put it on this YouTube video of his, basically, like, of the crazy things that people have sent him. And then people saw that, and they're like, that's hilarious. I should do the exact same thing. And so then he came out with another video that's like, please, everyone, please stop asking me to fist you.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, because if you go to his Twitter and stuff, I mean, some get more graphic about it, but most of them just say fist me or fist me, senpai.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty brutal.
What have you been playing, Andrew?
I'm finally playing my way through Resident Evil 5 because I have a person to co-op through it with. I've been playing through that with my roommate. It's been a blast. I loved Resident Evil 4 and all that stuff. And I've had Resident Evil 5 for like 2 years, but I didn't like it by myself and didn't have someone to play with. I've been doing that. I have not touched Black Flag really since that 34-hour binge.
Wow.
I think I jumped in for like 30 minutes and was like, I'm going to sink a ship. And then I was like, I did this too much. And jumped back out. I've also been playing Assassin's Creed Unity, finishing that up on my roommate's Xbox. And I downloaded Fallout 3 again. And I'm going to probably go through that again.
Okay.
Yeah, I played through the intro, and then there was a weird glitch where everybody was just like hopscotching at me. So I was like, I'm going to turn this off and take a nap.
That's funny. No, Resident Evil 5, I heard, is a game that's not fun by yourself.
Well, okay, did you play Resident Evil 4?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, not all the way through, but yes, I played it.
Well, I'm going to guess that your least favorite part was my least favorite part. Every time that stupid blonde chick was hanging around, wearing you down, keeping you from being the lone wolf you know you are, and killing zombies. Like, the thing is, the AI is actually okay in RE5, and Shiva, that's the female partner to Chris Redfield, she can carry her own, so to speak. So it's not like the exact same situation. But I've got PTSD from Resident Evil 4. I'm like, there's someone else. They're going to die, and I can't save them. Oh, no. And so it's been a bit, my roommate is now my female partner, so everything's looking up.
Kyle would make a good female partner.
I'm gonna wife that boy.
That's hilarious.
Oh man.
Oh man. Anyway, segues are weird. So let's talk about game features, and specifically, let's talk about features that we want in games, like that we think are missing from games, or features that could be expounded upon, or like we think could improve. Like we like the base idea, but it needs to evolve into this direction. So who wants to go first?
Well, why don't you, Scott, real quick, just define what features could be, because we could literally go on like a wild goose chase, being like, I love the color of that tree, and I want to see that color more. That's my feature.
All right,
this isn't really a feature. That's just a color.
It's a featured color.
Feature color presentation. So, okay, feature. Let's say like a game mechanic, I guess, would be the best way of describing it. Like
leveling up.
Yeah, like leveling up, or like
even hardware.
Yeah, I guess even hardware, or like basically something that even defines the genre, like a God game. Like wish that the like terraforming features were more, or whatever.
I gotcha.
Yeah.
And now our viewers got you. I had you before, because you're mine.
Coddle me.
Well,
call me like a baby.
I'll start with like an easy one. And I think I might have touched on this on another podcast of ours, but you can go into so much detail in character creation now, especially for RPGs, where you can like the size of the nose and the ears and the lips and everything, but then the hair, which is pretty much the most predominant feature, it's just like you just select your hair. You can't change the length. It's pretty much hair and color. And I wish that they could let you do things like flip it to the other side, or like extend the length of like certain parts of the hair. Because there's sometimes I'm like I want it like shorter over here, but then like long in the front. Like I want it to be more unique than like just option 1 through 10 or whatever. And I will say there's some games that have 50 options or something, but it's just basically it's like a hat almost. Like you don't really have any control over the hair. It's just like, I hope you like one of these 50 hats that sit on your head.
Or like it'll be like have a mohawk and you're like, oh, I like that mohawk. I wish I could just make it a little bit shorter. It's like
right.
No.
Yeah. No, it's like that is the one thing in character creation that's still, I mean, it's always hit or miss. When I go into a character creation for any game, I'm like, oh man, the hair's either going to suck or I'm going to find the perfect thing. And more often than not, I'm not pleased with my hair follicles in the game.
Yeah.
That's why I like helmets.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because
beards are important too.
That's what I was about to say. They also usually have like one choice for a beard.
It's like, do you want full beard or goatee or nothing?
There you go. There you go. Beards. That needs to happen more. Just with the hair. The whole hair. All the hair. Armpit hair length. Texture. Chest hair. No. Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
I want to see the little tufts come out of his armor.
That's what I was going to talk about. Like, if he has, like, if you see he's shirtless, it's like, see a little bit.
Oh, I was talking about the pubes situation.
No, that's what I'm talking about. See a little bit. Like,
yeah.
Shirtless armor.
Obviously, your hero doesn't trim.
For real, though, I had a friend, though, that he got his pubes stuck in his belt, and then he, like, took off his belt really fast. And he,
God! Oh, no.
And he ripped off like a patch of skin like the size of a quarter.
A patch of skin?
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like, how thick are your pubes, bro? And he just
I'm having a visceral reaction to that. Oh, man.
Oh, gosh. Well, who would have guessed that us three would have want beards in a game?
I know. We're very, we're fighting up for the little guys.
Yeah.
No. Andrew, do you have a feature?
Yeah. It's not something that I'm like saying this better happen now because I feel like they're going in the right direction with it, but integrating, like, Okay, so like in Elder Scrolls games, you do things and you level up. You do the experience points, whatever. You know, they're trying to create a game version of how the world works because we get better at something as humans if we practice it or whatever.
Andrew,
but did I just?
Yeah, you should restart what you just said.
Oh dear. Okay, sorry, folks. Okay, better now.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, I don't think that this is something that like I'm frustrated about because I feel like games are moving in the right direction. But take like an RPG level up system. In a game like Elder Scrolls, you get better at things because you do them over and over. And, you know, that's kind of like we as humans, when we practice something, we, sorry, my roommate was yelling in the background. As humans, when we practice something over and over, we typically get better at it. That's a good system. In other ones, it's experience points. In other ones, it's different kinds of experience points. It's all centered around like experience, whether it's Skyrim where you're doing it, or here where you're killing a bad guy and sucking his soul out and getting points. But so many times, and I've noticed this a lot more recently with the advent of more story-driven games being a part of my library, it just still doesn't make sense. Like something doesn't feel organic about the way that you grow skill-wise as a character. And so I think that Elder Scrolls and games like that are moving in the right direction. But I would like to see a game where like you're not just picking these random skills or whatever and having to role play, but there's a reason for the abilities that you have, and there's a reason why they're growing, and like not like something cheap or barely touched on like the first Mass Effect where Shepard could communicate with the Reapers or something, but like everything that you're doing, it's like, why am I getting better? Not because I'm killing people. I just want to see the RPG elements and story just fully meshed where you really feel like you're the character. You know what I mean?
You could do it. You know what's funny about Infamous? Since I played Second Son, is all the moves that you learn, like special powers and everything, are because you, yeah. They're because you grab those, you like find the shards or whatever. You know what I'm talking about? To upgrade your powers.
Yeah.
Well, they're laying around everywhere, and your character is the only one that finds them. Like anyone could just like run up and be like, "I'm a superpower hero," you know, and like, nope, just you.
Right. I totally get that.
Yeah. But I think that.
Okay, was I the one that disappeared there for a second?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
okay.
And in general, Kate picked it up pretty well, but you kept coming in, so you'd be like, and then you pick up, and you're like,
It's pretty good.
Well, did you get what I was saying?
Yeah. No,
yep.
Totally did.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I have some more concrete ones. That's a pretty esoteric, kind of selfish one, but I got some other ones for after you guys go again.
For me, I think I want I don't know, I guess better nation builder in like strategy games, and what I mean by that is like Civ or like the Total War series. They have like a nation building mechanic and like land. You know what I mean? Like you build up your nation, you can like make it. You can totally change it into like only a monarch or like change it to like a republic or whatever. Blah blah. All these other things. But like, I want more in-depth like nation building. Or even like a new game to come out that's like, I'm a nation builder with slight RTS mechanics. Like you never can really define your culture in any way.
You just respond to it.
Yeah, and like when you do get a wonder, there's not a big deal about it. Like especially in like Civ games, it's like I have the pyramids, I have like you know what I mean? It's like I have the pyramids, I have Stonehenge, I have this, I have that, I have this. No one cares.
Yeah.
Like you know what I mean? And like I just kind of wish that there was better like nation building and also like diplomacy, which I know tons of people are asking for better diplomacy in those games, but I'm on that bandwagon too because like it's too cut and dry, it's too black and white. Like it's like, oh, you attack city states, we all hate you. You know what I mean? And I was like, not everyone would hate me for attacking this city state. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Or it's like, not everyone would hate me for this, and it's like, nope, we all do. And I'm like, I hate you. I hate you.
You kind of want a city builder with Dragon Age mechanics, in a sense. Like,
yeah.
Where you're doing something and you have reasons for what you're doing.
Exactly.
Some nations like it, some nations don't.
Exactly. And then, like, yeah, and, like, alliance systems, I wish that was just, like, a true nation builder, like I said, is probably what I would be, like, really into.
Okay.
Pretty good.
Mine used to be a feature that was in, like, almost every game, and now it basically doesn't exist anymore. And I would really like to see developers push for this. And there's some that do, but not many. I crave local co-op on games. And what sucks is if you want to play local co-op with someone, you're pretty much reduced to Nintendo now.
Yeah.
Because PlayStation and Xbox have all but gotten rid of it.
Window, yeah.
I mean, there's indies that have, like, you could play Castle Crashers. Or me and Scott had tons of fun playing Towerfall Ascension, which is an incredible game. But I want like an experience that's more than like that rises above an indie level that I can play sitting next to my buddy.
Yeah.
And like I've been sitting on Dead Space 3 forever, and I always thought the co-op would be awesome. But I don't want to play online because then I have to find someone who's still playing PS3 and has Dead Space 3. It's like I want to be there right with the person, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Scott, at least for me, War in the North is not an amazing game on its own. It's a good game, a very good game.
Yeah.
But to me, it was probably one of my most fun gaming experiences. Because it was like one of the only RPGs, action RPG, I should say, it's pretty actiony, that you can sit with your buddy right next to you and like go through the whole story. And they do have narrative sections, although they don't mean much, but it's still like they have the drop-down list like a BioWare game where you have.
Yeah.
It's like the old BioWare games where where it spells out everything for you.
Which in some ways I still enjoy because it's like you never get that thing where it's like, whatever you say, and then it's like, whatever you say?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's not what I wanted.
The glass him scenario?
Yeah, like, oh, yeah,
everyone thought that meant like, oh, give him a glass. I guess I'm just the jerk because I'm like, oh, glass him, yeah, like hit him in the head with a glass.
No, now because of that, that's what I think of. And I also heard it in a mob movie. One time I was like, glass him, and they're like, shh. And so like now I assume it. Yeah, no, in The Wolf Among Us, there's this option. You're talking to this guy, and it's very somber, and you're at a bar, and I was empathizing with him, and then there was an option that just says glass him, and so I was like, give him one on me, bartender. That's what I thought it was gonna be like, and it was like glass him. And so after this whole time, I was having this conversation with him, and it was like, yeah, man, I get that. It is sad. It is effed up. And so, yeah, Glaxton was not what I thought.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. So that's one of the things I do miss about, like, the spelling it out for you.
There are still a couple times when they spelled it out that I was like, wait, he said that with a much different inflection than I thought.
That's true.
But it's better.
Mm-hmm.
I still like the
I
real
remember
though.
how much fun you guys did have playing War in the North in the summer dorm room. Like, just going ham at it for hours. I finally actually got to beat the game.
I don't know if there's another game like that. Like an RPG that's local co-op.
Well, did you ever play Third Age for the PS2?
No.
No. But I'm not gonna hop on a PS2 game now.
Yeah. Hop it on, just like, time to play that PS2. Like, blow it off. That's so funny. Yeah, no, that... Good times. Good
I
times.
have to look that up.
What, if there's another, like, local co-op?
RPGs. It probably. I don't think they exist. Maybe on Steam or something.
I mean, kind of. We played that White Knight Chronicles, technically. I said technically.
Yeah. That counts, I guess.
Yeah, White Knight Chronicles counts, I guess. I mean, barely, but it does.
There is Co-Optimist, which is a website that's all about co-op games, and so I could probably find it. But there's just not. I don't like. I know there probably are co-op RPGs, but are they going to be like high quality, good
That's
ones?
true, yeah.
I don't know. Where War of the North was like the one that's like it met every criteria, and it's a an IP that I respect a lot.
Yeah, and it had a pretty good loot system.
Yeah, I love that loot system.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Overall, good.
Thumbs up. Yeah, but do you have an? Oh, you're the one that just did the feature. Silly Scott.
Got another one?
You got another one? It better be really good. Okay. For me, I'm trying to think if there's a feature that I am digging. Oh, for me, I kind of want I guess to hop on board with Andrew, more of a different leveling up system. I want a more dynamic one, I guess I would say, than most. Like, if you're talking about like growing as a person, you can grow as a person without like literally hacking wood for an hour and a half to become the greatest wood hacker. You know what I mean? There's not. Yeah. I don't know. I guess what I'm saying is I wish more trainers in games were actual trainers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you have to get the level to get to the trainer who just unlocked one thing. It's not like you can level up from the trainer. And I guess I think it'd be cool to kind of have like a mentor system in a game. I have not seen such a thing, but I could be wrong.
I would like to see a game where, like, the amount of damage you do from like the first, tutorial or whatever to like the end game is usually like different stratospheres.
Yeah.
And like I want to feel like I've gotten more powerful, but I feel like the base damage should be pretty much the same because it's not like your guy's getting stronger, like power wise. I just think like the skills that he learns are way more powerful, if that makes more sense. But it's not like it shouldn't be to the point where like hitting somebody later versus earlier with the same move is like crazy amounts of different damage. Like it doesn't make sense story wise. It makes sense for games like Diablo because Diablo is not really like a story driven game, and it's just basically like a how like kill things fast game.
Yeah, like it's a dungeon crawler.
Yeah, so but for
that actually kind of
oh wow, America.
I'm back. I'm back. I'm literally sitting next to the router in my roommate's room.
Oh, awesome.
Just like, feed me internet, please. Sorry.
Bob's hungry.
By the way, I just did a quick like search for local co-op RPGs, and Magicka 2 is going to come out soon. That's one. So I never played the first one because it was PC only, but
me neither.
I missed a chunk of what you guys talked about after I cut out again. But what you were just talking about in terms of feeling different, like from the beginning to the end and whatnot, I was actually thinking about this morning. I would really like a non-traditional loot system because, like, okay, I'm playing Assassin's Creed Unity right now, and obviously the more expensive weapons that you can buy are more powerful or whatever and better. But there just gets to a point where you can get all those things, and then it's like, okay, what's the carrot on the stick here? Yeah, I'm into the story and I am enjoying the gameplay, but like, why would I want to switch back to another weapon? Because I like how this looks and I like how this looks, and I kind of want to like look like this some of the time, but I can't because it's going to make my gameplay suffer and I might die quicker. For me, a game that gets the closest to having a more fluid loot system instead of just a tiered kind of hierarchical loot system is that I've played. I'm sure there's more than one. Is the Dark Souls franchise, because like, you know, I kind of try to go like, they do have a bit of a tier. Like, as you get further into the game, you're going to find better stuff. But some people can play that game based purely on skill, and they don't need a better weapon, they don't need better armor, and they play the specific way they want to play because that's how they like to play. And that's why, like, Dark Souls really changed a lot of the ways that I think about loot and combat, just because, like, I was so used to that pyramid scheme of getting the best stuff, but it's like that game was the first skill-based, like, RPG fighter that I'd ever played. Well, you know, even Skyrim is just mashing, you know, and having better numbers. But I want to see more of that.
I like games that have the, you know, like most RPGs, they're usually like a common, an uncommon, and a rare, and a legendary, or some kind of order like that. Yeah. I'm fine with like the commons and uncommons and rares pretty much being the same way that they are. Like a rare at level 20 is not going to be better than a common at 25, which is the way most games work. I'm fine with that. But I wish that they made all legendaries modifiable so that you can keep them if you so choose. So like anything that, like everything else, I don't care. Like a lot of games make these like really rich crafting systems. So like you can take a common weapon and then make it an uncommon weapon. And I'm like, who would do that? It's a waste of resources and time type of thing. Like a lot of Dragon Age crafting and Inquisition, some of it was cool, but then other stuff I was like, it's kind of pointless. But I wish, so I don't even care about all that stuff. But I wish like a legendary that you got early on, you're like, man, this looks awesome. You can keep modifying it so that it keeps up with your level.
Have I told you about Guild Wars 2, their wardrobe system?
I mean, I'm guessing that it works similar to like Transmorg in Diablo.
The thing that's cool about it is it took them like a year and a half or 2 years to hammer it all out. It was probably my favorite update. And what sucked is it was at the end of my kind of life with that game. I'm going to go back to it when the expansion pops out, but it's just been a while. But whenever you roommate, whenever you
naked roommate,
shirtless, he's better looking than me, so it's probably better for the viewers. But anyway, I just totally lost track of thought at his six-pack. No, okay, Guild Wars 2 wardrobe system. That was for you, Scott. At any level, whenever you get an item, if you choose to soul bind it to yourself, you unlock that skin in the wardrobe. And you have what's called transmutation charges that you can either buy or earn via leveling or playing PvP, different stuff like that. And you can make any piece of armor look like any other piece of armor in that category. So if I find these really awesome shoulder pieces at level 36, but then at level 80, obviously I'm not rolling the same pieces, I can transmute that skin onto those. And if I get a legendary weapon or a really nice skin, I can get an ascended level weapon and have it have the look of a level 22, common if I like that look for my look. And that gives you 100% access to every skin you've ever found. It's really nice.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, Diablo's Transmorg is very similar. Basically, every legendary, it saves that skin, that look of that legendary. And so you could get any other weapon and then make it look like that the legendary that you really like. There's also a bunch of common transmorgs as well, which some people think is hilarious to have like this really ornate, like brutal weapon, and then they make it look like a club or something. But like a wood club, like a caveman.
That is hilarious.
Yeah, I was playing online with some guys that they all had clubs. So I'm like, what's going on here?
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Who started that feature talk?
I guess I kind of did about.
Okay. Do you have another feature you want, Kay?
I'm. It's not really a feature per se. It's more of a cut of features. But I'm kind of over games that just have a billion things to collect. I'm like
there needs to be a reason.
Like, yeah, if there's a reason for it, then I'm down to clown. But like Assassin's Creed Unity and even Dragon Age Inquisition, which was my game of the year, there's a lot of stuff, and I think Dragon Age does a pretty good job most of the time of making even little things affect some aspect. Even if it's really tiny, like even if it only comes up in one conversation, at least you'd be like, see, that thing meant something. But like most action games, like you have to collect, you collect everything, and then you're kind of just like 100% game completion. Good job.
You wasted the maximum amount of time.
Yeah, and you're just like, well, that sucks.
Cool beans. But
yeah.
No, I'm all about that. I am not about gathering quests. Like you said, Dragon Age is the only one that I was like, you mean it does give me something? Fine.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah, but even Dragon Age has a lot of them don't mean anything.
Yeah.
I think most of them do. Like most of them, even if it's like, oh, now you have this person that's in your castle that's like a new NPC. You're like, see, totally worth it, even though it really has no impact on your game. At least like you feel like it did.
Yeah.
But a lot of other games, they just throw in stuff because they have to say like 50 hours of gameplay or whatever, and it's like it's not really 50 hours of gameplay.
And 48 of them are collecting pieces of paper.
Yeah, like it's really 10 hours of gameplay, and that's kind of how I still am reserving judgment for the Order 1886 because everyone's dumping on it for its length, and they just kind of seemed like to cut out the crap, like a lot of these side mission collection stuff, and it's just like a cinematic, straightforward story, and then you can beat it in like 8 hours. And to me, that's most games. Like if you just go straight through the story, that's they're somewhere along. Like Last of Us is like a 12 to 15 hour game, or something like that, which is not that much more. But that game's universally praised. So, I don't know. That's why I'm reserving judgment. Maybe I'll still hate it once I play it, but I don't hate games just because they're short, no matter how much money they are. At least until I've played it and decided like it was it was boring or whatever.
Yeah, it's like if it's a solid experience, who cares?
Yeah.
It's like people complaining over a movie or like a TV show or something that's like cut short, or like someone ending a show and they're like, but I wanted more. But it's like, no, it did what it did. Stop trying to suck more out of it.
That's why I applaud Breaking Bad for stopping when they did.
And Seinfeld.
Yeah, they like.
Don't say the spoilers though, because I'm in the last season of Breaking.
No, I'm not gonna say any spoilers. I'm just saying the creators, they've said multiple times that they always thought that it was going to be like a 5-season show, and that was like they had the whole story planned out. And they said this will work in 5 seasons. That's like what we always wanted to do. And that show was massively popular. So if they wanted to like add on a bunch of crap and go for a bunch more seasons, they could have. But they said, no, this is the story of Walter White kind of thing. So they ended it. So kudos to Breaking Bad. Because when you go that 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, whatever, that's when, even if you have the best of intentions, things get stale.
Yeah.
Because there's a weird thing after about 5 seasons where some fans want you to change because they're like, it's boring. And then some fans want it to be exactly the same. Yeah. And so you can never please anybody. So
I mean, the consumer mentality that we have in America, we think more is better than better. You know what I mean? Like, quality doesn't have as much oomph unless it's like super big,
Yeah.
Like, I'd rather have 4 McDoubles than 1 good cheeseburger.
Right.
That's gross.
It's kind of like Nintendo when Nintendo's pumping out Mario parties and the new Super Mario, blah blah blah. People are saying, why doesn't Nintendo do anything else? Where's the original IPs? And then they do like the Wonderful 101 and Codename Steam and stuff like that, and people are like, "Where's the next Mario Party, you guys? Where's the next Zelda?" So there's no winning.
Sometimes you can find a formula that works that can be repeated. Mario platforming. It's not got. I mean, they've changed it up obviously, but it's not gotten like stale to me. It's like that's what I'm getting with a Mario game. I don't expect to have RPG elements and 15 collection quests. I just want to jump through my levels. But like other stuff, you just can't do that with.
Come on, Square Enix. Where's the next 7 stars? That's what I want.
Oh my gosh, I want that so bad. And they tried to do. I mean, they've done that kind of with the Mario and Luigi games, but it's not the same. Where's Gino? Where's Milo?
What games are you talking about? Like the Dream World?
Yeah, like they've had like Bowser's Inside Story and those are good games. Well, they're Mario RPGs. That's what I mean.
Yeah, but I mean, get
totally
Square on it. Get Square on it.
Please.
Do that.
Get Squeenix.
That is a
good old Squeenix. I love Squeenix. They're one of my faves.
I like Squeenix.
Oh, they make great games.
They really do.
Final Fantasy Type Zero's coming out. I'm pumped.
Yeah,
they make and produce. A lot of games they produce are also solid.
That game's gonna be cool.
I'm gonna play it into the ground. It'll be the first Final Fantasy that I've gone all the way through, I think, except for the one for the PSP.
What one for PSP?
I think
it's within the action orient. I don't even know what it was called. It was action oriented though. And
Type Zero?
No, not Type Zero. No, this was like 5 years ago. I can't remember. I'd have to look it up. That would take me like 20 minutes. It was some Final Fantasy game. It was, yeah. Speaking of Final Fantasy, did you guys ever play Crystal Chronicles for the GameCube?
I actually really enjoyed that.
Yeah, so did 2 or 3 or 4 of my roommates. I don't know how many roommates I have. There's so many people here all the time. But
all 18 of us.
I just remember being very confused and expecting a JRPG experience and not really knowing what was going on, and there wasn't much of a tutorial system. But my roommates love it.
I didn't like it at first. The more I played it, the more I liked it. There was one of the mechanics I wasn't the biggest fan of, but c'est la vie. But in general, I really enjoyed it.
I feel like we're wrapping up, but I want to get in one more feature before
do it.
Wrap this present. Thanks, Bailey. This is a feature that I'm more hopeful for.
Scott or Andrew, you're not talking about tactics, are you?
No, not tactics. No, that's not action oriented. I mean, it is, but it's not like you're not running around swinging a sword.
I don't even know what game you're talking about.
It was on the PSP.
Are you sure it's PSP exclusive?
Yes. I'm fairly positive it was, unless it was on the N-Gauge. Just kidding.
Don't worry about it. Never mind.
The N-Gauge.
I want to try to make an N-Gauge joke every week, but I don't know if I can. But you know how whenever Final Fantasy 12 came out, they changed it up to be more of an action style play.
Yeah.
Final Fantasy what?
12.
Yes.
It kind of played like that, but I only played 12 for like an hour, so I didn't know. But you like got stuff to add to your sword. There was like a weird little crafting thing. I don't know. I hate that I can't remember it because I played a lot of it.
It's fine. Do your
anyway.
feature.
Oh yeah, sorry, got distracted. This is something I'm hopeful for. Because right now we're kind of in this, like, VR is starting to gain some ground, like some speed. But I'm hoping that with VR, it will create a landscape to where, like, immersion in terms of, like, if, like, I would like a game where I could, because I'm the type of guy that likes to make characters after myself. Not everyone likes to do that. That's why I have trouble playing, like, I can't make a female character. I just can't. If I have to pick a female, like in Borderlands, sure, that's fine. But I just can't. I like to make characters after myself, and like I would like a game where you could literally like scan your face in, not like on the Wii with your me, but like they create something where it looks like you in the game, and also like with all that, just more like I just think this is a really broad thing. Like my first one, I apologize. The main feature was being able to scan myself into a game because I'm a narcissist. But
play sports games, bro.
there you go. That's true.
You can do that on EA, man. Get your face scanned, put you in there. Looks nothing like you, but
it helps.
I did it one time for FIFA, and I had very similar hair to what I do right now, and they gave me it was like a giant faux hawk. And no facial hair. I think it was a mustache or something.
That's right.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
On point.
I had this like humongous head and these like tiny arms and legs and like. That's good.
That's funny. Tiny arms and legs. Were you like a me running around?
Basically.
That's hilarious.
Oh man. I guess that's it. I just want to be inside of a video game, me, completely
and utterly.
Oh, I remember what the other thing was. My bad. With virtual reality, and they're always doing research on artificial intelligence. I'm looking forward to a game like a BioWare style game where the computer program chooses how it reacts to you, not based on because like. You know, Mass Effect and Dragon Age, it's like an intricate math puzzle of if I say this and I do this and I do this and I do this, it's going to make this reaction. But like, I want an organic feel to those games.
Oh, okay. So you're talking about something that I've mentioned to Scott before. Okay, so games that have a story outcome, you know, it's like you choose this, so this happens. You choose this happens. Okay, I want a game, and I get that this is like a huge, daunting task.
Yeah.
I want a game that there's a percentage to each choice. So let's take a Telltale game, for instance. You have to choose whether you want to save Carly or the other guy that no one saved. What do you remember his name?
Let's just call him Greg.
We'll just call him Greg, the IT guy that like literally no one saved. You can save Carly or the IT guy. Okay, and which one you choose is the person that survives. Well, I want there to be a choice or a percentage on each choice. So if I choose Carly 90% of the time, she will survive, but there's a 10% chance she'll die anyways, and then both will die. And then maybe
maybe there's like a 5% chance that Greg will live.
Right.
Even if you choose Carly. So in theory, Carly could die and Greg still live, even though you chose Carly. So then the rest of the game, Greg's like, you're an a-hole.
Yeah. But I get how, like, that's so much more work. Because instead of 2 trees, now you have 6. At least.
Right. And Telltale shouldn't make that game. It'll take them too long.
No, that'll take Telltale forever. But I want a game to do that. And obviously, the game's not going to be like BioWare level size.
Right.
It's going to have to start more like Telltale size, where it's like 10 hours or something.
Well, any game like that would be experimental because you have to create an engine that could handle the levels of improbability in the game, basically.
But as we go in the future, maybe 5-10 years down the line, BioWare,
No, the worst part about it is, at like this place in my life, I'm like, man, I can't wait to play games when I'm like 50 years old, and I'm gonna be like, do this thing, and then like all this other stuff will happen that wouldn't even be possible today.
Well, this is the idea that this is the emotional equivalent of what virtual reality programmers are trying to do with this, what they call presence, where if you're standing on a cliff, they want you to be looking down through the Oculus Rift and your body experience the vertigo, not as a like conscious like whoa, but like a literal base like in your spine reflex or instinct that's like, oh, like they want to create they call it presence. And so I want that emotional presence too from the other characters. Like I want to be talking to someone in a game and be like, wait, is this a person or is this a computer character? You know what I mean?
Yeah. If they get
too scary.
Yeah, that's what Kay's nightmare. Like we were watching her, and I love her. Fun fact, but I was like, oh man, this is beautiful. Or like she was like a little bit spoiler. Like she like organized his emails and sent out a few emails like behind his back to try to promote him, and then it worked out. And I was like, oh, that's so sweet. That's awesome. I wish I had that. And Kay was like, what? I never told her to search through my emails. Skynet, they're gonna kill us all.
It's true, man. That's the first step. That is the first step. They're just like, oh, can I just have access to your emails just when you're not, not without. I mean, I don't, I just want to do it. And you're like, fine, it's fine, whatever. Next thing you know, they're hacking into our security networks. They're sending emails to ISIS saying, come on in, you guys.
That's exactly what happened.
No, like Kay and I are on the complete opposite. Kay and I are on the complete opposite spectrum of like AI and computers. Like I'm like, oh, this is awesome. Let's try to get them. Like let's have them free thought. Just blah 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 blah. And Kay's like, no, they're our slaves. Keep them.
They are our slaves.
We can't allow them to think.
No free will.
See, I think it would be super difficult to ever even do that because, like, our minds would never really, unless we were put into a virtual reality situation, not knowing that it was an NPC or a person, like there was enough reasonable doubt. I don't think I could ever play a game and fully believe, but like they are accomplishing it with physical presence. They are accomplishing people freaking out because they think it's that real. And so it's like, if you've at least got that, the emotions can handle, the emotions can show up, I think.
I know people that go to 3D movies and think that their head's going to get cut off by the helicopter.
Well, most people have epilepsy, so...
People like that is so annoying. It's like, come on, have you never seen a movie before?
Quick footnote, if you have epilepsy, we don't think you're annoying. Sorry, I had to cover my own tracks there.
I mean, I knew...
I mean, it is if I take you to a laser show. Like you are hindering my experience there.
Well, I think the epileptic would have turned it down, so you'd just be mad at them for being a bad friend and not coming to the laser show. I mean, this is the 80s, people. It's laser for everything.
Laser shows.
Okay, so, funny story one time.
Tell me about those lasers.
I met this girl, and she had these sores, like, on her face, and, like, black... like...
End of story.
No, okay. And she was a friend of a friend. And then I was like, oh my gosh, like what happened to your face, whatever. And she said, like, I hit myself. And I was like, emo much. And then and then she said, I have like severe epilepsy and I have seizures. And I hit myself.
Wait, you verbally said to her emo much?
Yeah.
Tom, Talk about an awkward moment.
Epilepsy, is that just some extreme emo movement?
I mean, I did the same. I told you about the Tourette's guy, right? It was like the same exact thing.
I don't think you told me about the Tourette's guy.
I was at a school dance. This was like a year earlier. And there's like a guy in the corner that's doing this. And then I stood behind him. I started doing it. And I was like, hey, you guys, it's a new dance move. Everyone's into it. And then someone pulled me aside. He's like, that dude has Tourette's.
God damn. Man, you are the worst.
I am.
The worst.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I didn't know.
That doesn't make it that much better that you didn't know.
I just thought I was making fun of some guy's dance moves.
No, but you were making fun of his debilitating disease.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I told him sorry.
I told him sorry. Well, that was the least you could do. Okay, well, I think that's it for this episode of Eat, Game, Sleep. Make sure you tell your friends about us. Go out right now. Tell them all. Shout us out from the street corners.
Yep.
Visit our website. It's pretty awesome, FatBearGaming.com. We have forums for you to talk on and cool stuff there.
We did a lot of work on it, so please go see it.
We did. And you can see you can listen to our other podcasts there too. But I'm Scott.
I'm Kay.
And he's Andrew. We'll catch you next time.
And this is America.
And this is America. We'll see you next time.